Okay, so I've been meaning to update the PathForgerized APC, and mainly in terms of its turret, because that's literally the only thing that I haven't really truly modified about this build, and I think it's about time that I do that, to bring it a little more up to date with current times. With that being said, we always copy the build, that's very important, and we head into edit mode with the copy. Actually, is this the copy? Be absolutely certain, because I really would like to change the copy, not anything else. Edit. And the first thing we're going to do, first of all, is assess the turret. There's a high probability I'm going to have to completely change the aesthetic. Well, that's an unfortunate side effect, but that's probably fine. And the reason I'm doing this is that even though it's a really nice looking turret, is that the fact that it's linked to a very small aiming hinge I should say, that concerns me. It concerns me, and I think that it's causing this particular bot to underperform. And besides, I do think that I can get more value out of a completely redone turret. Another thing I'd like to address is the fact that this has two plasma turrets with plasma weapons, which isn't bad, but suffers a little from in terms of versatility. It's great against stripping off plutonium on towers and such. It's also good at exploding sections of bots, but beyond that, it can be a little lackluster on its own, at least in my opinion. So let's go ahead and see how much CPU we're saving. So the weapon CPU is irrelevant at this point because that has its own pool of CPU. But what I'm more interested in seeing is how much CPU can be saved from completely stripping away the entirety of the turret. And we're just moving along, making sure we don't strip away something that we don't want to strip away, because that would be unfortunate. It's also a pain in the butt because there's no undo function yet. So let's just take it nice and slow and not make any mistakes. These rails are a nice feature, a nice aesthetic feature. I really like them, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to incorporate them into the final version of the turret. At least this version of the turret. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just going to have to remove stuff. So at the moment we're down to 752, but that's not entirely everything because there's also the hinge to take into consideration. I also need to take into consideration the rear section here. Which unfortunately may need to be modified, even though it's quite iconic in its own right. Or, to be fair, I could simply move the whole thing back so I have more space, so I could try that. Plus, there are a few sections along the build that are frankly optional CPU, so that is something. Let's save our progress, because we don't want to retain the build. I would like to keep the relatively low form factor of the turret if possible, but I would also like to give the turret itself more leeway to get around, and I'd like to retain these ridges, but this is increasingly optional as this build progresses. We'll see. We will see. So next up, I'd like to modify this section. Okay, that's pretty much hollow, fine. And let's make this somewhat shorter. How much shorter? At least a block. I mean, that'll be okay, most likely. And can I move the entire thing back? If that's the case, should I account for it now? Probably. Let's do that. Okay. Mirror mode would be nice, but that's coming eventually. But not yet. This is a plate. There's more going on in the center section, which I have to keep in mind. Pilot, take into consideration. Let's start extending backwards. I'm pretty sure, yes, I can definitely move the entire thing backwards. That's a plus. This needs a little more finessing. Now we're just moving the entire thing one block back. So that's one block back. Let's do the same with the other side because we're going to need to. Good. Let's get this block, which is just a singular block for aesthetics. Well, mostly aesthetics. That works. Same over here. And at some point we'll reinstall the frontal section. So, plate. Let's reinstall the plate. One further back, that's fine. With that installed, we can really install this. I think I got this wrong. Let's try it again. It's more like it. Yeah, I installed these incorrectly, no big deal. I think this is the correct way. No, it's not. That's the correct way. That's more like it. Install that across. Material check. I want the cabin to be a little modestly protected. And while we're at it, we may as well start moving this section back. On the other side. And this is becoming a lot less daunting as a change. If one takes things one modification at a time, that will work out. Now, how am I going to go about this? This is a section. Clearly I need to... Okay, is there anything in the way? What's that? That is... Yeah, what is that? Which is also an issue on the other side. Okay, let me take a closer look at that, since it's kind of in the way. That's a wall section, fine. Let's take a closer look. A much closer look. This needs to move back. Also, I think this can afford to... No, it can't. That's fine. My mistake. So that just aligns. That's perfectly fine. Let's double check on the material. That's good. Do the same on the other side. And that'll deal with that little obstacle that we've encountered. Okay, that's done. And now we can reattempt this. all the way. Okay, what's in the way this time? Nothing. Okay, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. If I'm seeing right. One more. Okay, fine. A little bit more central. That's good. And I will do the same on the other side. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm noticing that the material is a little, or the color, either the material or the color isn't quite there. So I want a 5x1 section. Yes. Input. Install. Yeah, there's definitely a color difference going on. We'll need to fix that. Not a big deal. Yep, so let's do that right away. Okay, that's a material difference. Very well, that's taken care of. Wait, did I... Oh, there was a slight defect in the actual build itself, no biggie. So that gets removed as it's no longer necessary. That also, and that also. That being said, this can now be reinstalled. But before I reinstall that, perhaps... Now, thing is there anything blockading this? Nope, that's fine. So this should fit perfectly nicely. Good, this comes off. And this goes down and gets installed. Cool. Now, is that the right thing to go for here? Is there any reason to go for a different approach? Wait. I need to explore that within the cabin itself. I mean, not really. Not really. I could opt for a different block. I could opt for a different block. I need to get out so I can get this done right. 5x2 and extend it inwards. That's now a solid section. Okay. That's okay. Let's Ladium it up. Actually, let's color it up also. The section remains independent. It's kind of thick actually. That's a very, very thick block. That's a very thick block. Why do we have a thick block there? Good question. What's this block important for? This looks to be... Yeah, let's take a closer look. I mean, it's a very heavy block. That's what I can say. Let's just leave that in there for the moment. Although again, that's a very heavy block right there. And final touch on nope. I said final touch on nope. I said final touch on that'll do. Okay, that's pretty decent. Moves the entire thing back. The aesthetic is more or less retained, and I've got more space for my turret. And more importantly, I now have a situation where... Hang on, why are you a different color? You are the same color, but you're a different material. Okay. You're a very thick material. You're a very big material, I should say. Not material, I mean big block. Might have to see what needs to be done there, but in any case, the turret can now proceed. And with a decent amount of CPU to work with. That's good, that's good. That's good. Okay, so I believe we can continue. Next up, we've got the actual turret itself to build. I think I'll just start off with a nice little plate. This is a plate holder. Yes, that is a pun. And since we don't have the most, intuitive of systems in that regards, actually I wonder. I should really test out a little something. If I were to make this plate so basically I'm using placeholder blocks, just as, Robocraft 1. Which reminds me, the 10-year anniversary for that game is coming up, which I'm looking forward to. Well, that's something. I have a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Anyway, moving on. I have a strong feeling that this isn't going to work out quite as well as I'd hoped. So, one way to find out. Actually, you know what? That's actually kind of convenient. Yeah, let's go with that. Right, and let's give us a quick test. Now, what I'm curious about is how well it takes turning that turret. Is it too large already? Well, I'm about to find out. Let's get off the plate. Those railings do provide I get the impression it's scraping. Is it the case? That's almost certainly scraping, so that's a bit too much, so that's okay, that's okay. The main thing is that I know that's the case. So I can adjust accordingly. So with that being said, this is just a bit much, no problem. I'll just need to reduce the size in some way. We can scale back on this, honestly. And there we've got our placeholder. Let's call that our strip placeholder. I would like this to be one size smaller. So there's our next strip placeholder. I'm going for a 7x7, which is the next size down. And I'm fairly certain that this will work a lot better. With less collision. Let's test it out. Well, if there's any scraping, it's a lot less evident. And that's good. That's honestly good. That's quite good. That'll do, because the higher one gets, the less likely one is to scrape. That's good. That's very good. I'll accept that. Now, is it thick or is it thin? I would like it to be. Okay. Let me think about that. Thin is something I'd prefer, in general. Now, next up, how am I going to build this turret? This is no longer required. I think I can proceed to the hinge, because that is the next big thing, honestly. Fair question. Do I want to build in extra elevation? And my answer to that is generally yes. I do actually want more elevation. How much elevation do I want? Fair question. I'm not sure. Let's go with that. I mean, does it need to be particularly high? Not really. I mean, this is going to suffer from clearance issues if I keep it this low. But think about groundedness. Maybe I should opt for something a little more robust. That seems pretty decent overall. Now, this is where things get messy. Let's see. Okay. That's a pretty decent size. And here is the crux of the matter. I'm not sure if I've got the size right, so let's increase it up, scale it. That isn't bad, but I need to keep in mind the whole I mean, if I want to do it this way, then I should consider taking the whole thing out, which that's probably better. That's probably for the best. That's probably okay. This is going to be a heavier implementation. I do like my heavy implementations. And while we're at it, let's put down a couple of cannons. Something to keep in mind. Is protection, which protection is a very big deal in this game. Honestly speaking, I'm wondering if perhaps I'm better off moving the entire thing back. That's probably a good idea. Wrong way. Right way. In that case, you need to move further back. I mean, that's okay overall. Overall okay, but I do wonder if I'm better off going for a lighter approach. This might actually work out decently enough. Those railings will have to go soon, I'm afraid, so it's going to be a larger turret overall. We're down to how much CPU? 35 CPU to take care of the rest of this, and that's not including these sections of pipe, which there's one piece. There's basically 6 CPU in total saved. I do really want to reincorporate these in some manner, because I think it's part of what makes the build the build. I do know that I do not wish to overextend by far. I may have to use this temporarily as so. Let's get into finer tuning mode. Let's make it a 3 by 3. That's pretty decent overall. Okay. That's no longer required, although not too hot on that. Let's go for that. And this will require some kind of alternative means of keeping in one piece. But this game does allow for other options, such as that's pretty decent. I think I'll go for that. Spin that back. That should be the same height. That's fine. Let's do the same on the other side. Okay, this is a temporary scaffold once again. Not so keen on that particular implementation. I have to keep in mind I don't want to scrape either, so that's a thing. So, okay, very well, very well. Let's go for simple block force. Not keen on that. Not keen on that at all, so, what other options are there? Plus I have to keep in mind that whatever I extend out that way needs to be handled by this. So, okay, fine. It'll definitely need to be, okay, something that is compatible with that. So, with that being said, okay, I think I've got an idea. So, 1, 2. 1, 2, middle section, deeper, 3, 2 by 2. That's okay, let's go with that. That's hopefully symmetrical. Haven't broken the bank yet, that's good. With that being said, let's bring on a new shape. Quarter pyramids. I mean, seems okay overall. Little boxy, but okay. They should experience no clearance issues. That's heavy. That's heavy. I should probably lighten that at some point. So I'm just gonna save this and let's give it a quick test. There might be some clearance issues that side, but other than that, doing okay overall. Just have to watch out for that. Very well, very well. And do have a couple of ideas there. This was supposed to be a quick modification, but I suppose if one's making a turret, one may as well make a good turret, right? At least that's what I believe. I wonder. No, that's not gonna work. Well, it might work if I put a bit of scaffolding. I mean, that's okay overall. Give some space. There are advantages to that. Okay, so that's happening. This is the outer chamber. I'd like that to be better armored at the back if possible. And let's face it, it is possible. So let's make that so. I mean, that should be okay, I guess. We shall see. This could end up being a little over-engineered, but we'll see. This should be fine. This actually should be fine, yes, I agree. It looks kind of ugly in its current form, but let's see what we can do about that. Protection is important. Not keen on that. Looks kind of awful, actually. So let's see what other options there are. What if I were to sweep this up a little further? I can see that working out. We just need a little bit of finessing. Let's try to make that happen. I mean, looks better. But is it really more protective? Well, maybe not, but I could work in other protections. That's actually not so bad. That's really not so bad. Plus there's always a possibility of more protection over there. Let's see what we can do about that. That's actually a possibility. Let's see if I can... Yes. Okay. That is very acceptable. That works. Provide some rear protection for that turret, down to 25 CPU. But that's pretty decent, I'd say. I do think that it's not likely to scrape. Or is it my imagination that it might? So let's try again. Because we don't want that turret to scrape. I don't fancy needing to sweep that turret back even further. I don't get the impression that it's scraping. And that's a good thing, and that's a pretty nice looking turret so far. That is pretty fine. It is a little slow, but it is Ladium, so that's a thing. At least for the moment, it is Ladium. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Is it great? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it's not bad. Now, can be spared. More triangular armor, perhaps? Let's get those weapons on there. there is space. And I can opt. Wait. It's not working out. That's more like it. Let's make full utilization of. Full use of that. Space. Okay, so let's go straight for wiring. I do want to reduce the minimum angle. I want the minimum angle to be limited to I'm going to be conservative and say 15 degrees. Actually, I think that's too much, but we'll see. Right, 15 degrees, max angle should be fine. Let's just save and test. Okay. There's the thing. I mean, 15 degrees is pretty okay, but here's the question. Okay, it's already a problem there. So noted. Has clearance issues. Also must have clearance issues over here. Yep, there's definitely clearance issues. So that's a thing I need to take into consideration. And there are alternatives here. Just start scraping. I'm seeing right, it scrapes all the way down here. So that's around the point where it starts scraping. I'll keep that in mind. That's with 15 degrees. Alright. I can quick fix it with a 10 degree, but I'm thinking about this. Let's first remove this. I do think that I'd like to place a plate. Oh, I see. Alright, that's fine. That does offer more options, actually. That does offer more options. Higher gun placement. But is it good? Is it a good idea? And while we're at it, it does look like it's fully encompassed by the plate's footprint, so... And let's decrease that to 12 degrees. No, let's make it 13 degrees. Let's be edgy. And... save. And test. Now with 2 minor adjustments, I'm expecting to have much less issue. Okay, so I can still technically hit my nose, that's fine. Okay, this is plasma, that's perfectly fine. I'll zoom out, see how we're doing on scrapage. Scrapage is very much reduced. I mean, not perfect. So there comes a point where one does hit one's fore or aft. Let's simulate some combat situation, some pilot hunting. I am again disappointed with the excessive degree of reduction in speed that, you know, just simply turning causes, but that's something that needs to be looked into. Right, that's enough. I think that's pretty satisfactory overall. I don't think it's gonna pop off anytime soon, and that's a good thing, so that's fine. Alrighty then, and the blue actually does go well with the color scheme. Now, here's the thing. These are exposed. These are very significantly exposed, and I would like to fix that. How will I go about that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, you didn't ask, but anyway, moving on. That's not going to be an issue. Okay, fair enough. I mean, is that a good idea? I'm not so sure. That's a good idea. First of all, it kind of impedes. But on the other hand, that's a pretty solid basis overall. Ladium provides decent frontal protection, which is important, I'd say. Ah, can even fit. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Can fit further armor around and on top, so that's interesting. Okay, fine, let's explore that. This does encourage me to explore options here. That is pretty interesting, but is it something that I can follow through? Or is this going to become a problem? Because I think that's going to be a problem. We shall see. Yeah, that's probably going to be a problem. Yeah, it is going to be a problem. That's fine, that's fine. So what other options do I have? I mean, I do like that. I do actually like that. Let's see if I can possibly get away with this. And to make things a little, not easier, but work out better, I guess. Let's prep that which I know is necessary. Wrong way. Right way. That should work. Not so sure about the aesthetics, but it's worth exploring. Certainly doesn't fit the original aesthetics of the build. But I'm not going to say it looks bad per se. That's not the case. It looks pretty okay, pretty okay. It is heavy though, that I'll grant it. It is certainly heavy. And it's also out of sync. Well, Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing in this case. Let's try to make that work. Ah, that's a problem. Alright, that's fine. It's good to know that's a problem. So that being said, let's get those corner bits in action. I'm not going for a deep one, but one nonetheless. Okay. And I guess I could use a plate for placeholder. Similarly here. And see what we can do with that. This is the plan. Not so sure how well it's going to work, but we'll see. That looks very interesting. I like. Could probably have gone one further up, and I shall do that. Absolutely shall do that. Because it looks cool. And now the next thing is this 1, 2 plates. Looks like it's 2, in which case I can use that fact to my advantage. That should be level, and that makes a huge difference. Now the thing is, why wouldn't I want to go for a solid block? Because, now that I think about it, it does armor up the space a little better. Doesn't look particularly great, but it's certainly a possibility. More placeholder. Well, that was the idea. Here's my placeholder. Let's do the same on the other side. We're down to 12 CPU to work with. If worse should come to worst, I can start to cannibalize other sections. It's not going to be the most pretty cannon in the world, but it's certainly going to be something. Not what I had in mind. Oh. Is this going to be a problem? It is going to be a problem, isn't it? It is. Okay, fine. Right. I mean, this is a possibility, but I don't want to do that. Just want to do this very temporarily. Although that does look good. That's more like it. Then again, I could use the appropriate piece. See how that works. Decent overall, and I believe I should also be able to use a slim section to close this off, and I do hope that's the case, because that would be nice. Oh, come on, really? Fine. Apparently not. Same on the other side. That's annoying. Let's do that again. And may as well. I mean, it'll look good, so there's that. It's not a total loss. It's just not what I had in mind. That works. Now, that's down to 7 CPU. I do wonder if this even works, because that's kind of an issue now. So, there's that. I do believe I can simplify this a little. We'll see if that's a possibility. If so, that's a good thing. Let's save. Let's test. Because it might be that this is overloaded now, but I don't think it's the case. No sign of sagging. Armored turret. That's actually pretty decent. Yeah, unfortunately X has been disabled, so I can't absolutely tell how that was doing. But yeah, I'm guessing it's okay. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I guess there is some clearance issues. Fine. Fine. Very well, very well. Okay. Didn't like seeing that, but that's clearly an issue. Okay, fine. First things first. You're being reduced to 10 to help reduce issues with that. Honestly, that's not too bad overall. Pretty decently protected, I'd say. Not perfect, but decently protected. If I had more CPU, I could run like, well, maybe yes, maybe no. Could run more stuff through. Very lightly side armored. Very lightly side armored. Right. So that. Change orientation on that. Again. That's more like it. Yep, that's more like it. Although, do I want more armor? I mean, longer range protection from the front. Can I afford it? Because that's the thing. I can't afford to go any further than that. Okay, come on. I think we've struck it. Okay, good. That works out. Sense. Let's speed things up. I mean, I could have gone for a pyramid, but now pyramid isn't quite suited. We're down to 5 CPU. That's not good news, but again, I've got some areas that could use cannibalization for parts. And I shall do so. I absolutely shall do so. At this rate, it is necessary. Oh no. That's annoying. That reminds me though, I do need to figure out a good way to connect these. This will do nicely. Ah, that's in the way. No longer in the way. Oh, I see. Can extend outwards. How far out can I extend this? Let's find out. That's as far as I can extend it out before it becomes an issue that may scrape against this, so I need to go a little further back. Not a big deal. Okay, that should be fine. That's probably fine. We'll find out. Wrong way. That'll probably be fine. Okay, good. That provides some structural integrity to the sides, and that's a good thing. Let's get some plates on this. Some more plates. It's fine. And we're now above the limit. Time to cannibalize this. And this goes. Also this and this. And this and this. That should be fine. Those were kind of additional add-ons. We're down to 5 CPU again. I'm not so sure I'm going to manage this in the 5 CPU and may need to make more sacrifices. Okay. This geometry is a little bit, how to put this, inconvenient? Perhaps. Well, let's try to simplify this a little. Maybe I can extend further forwards, okay. Alright. This is definitely going to impact that if I allow it to, which I don't want to. Ah, I see. This is going to be an issue. Of course it is. Right, so it does actually fit all the way down there. Good. Maybe not. No, it doesn't. Okay, fine. Corner block. That's annoying as all heck. This feels so, how to put this? Suboptimal is one way of putting it. Some rear armor, again pushing into the danger zone. Not much I can do. How much CPU do I actually need? Let's find out. How much do I need to cannibalize this? Hopefully not a lot, but starting to wonder. I mean, if I'm doing this, I really don't need this. This can be saved. If I'm about to make compromises here, may as well do make the compromises properly. Nope, that's not proper. Okay. Not what I mind. That looks kind of okay. Alright, so we are 3 CPU above. 3 CPU above. The limit. And there's absolutely no chance I'm going to be able to incorporate rails at this rate, which is a shame, I must admit. This forces my hand. I do need to make an alteration. So this also has to go, as does this, and we're down to 1 CPU. 1 CPU. Nothing wrong with that, per se, but I wasn't expecting to have a shortage of CPU, I must admit. Now that I'm looking at this... I see a problem. I do see a problem. This has to go. That does have to go, because I need the clearance for other things. That was probably causing the issue with flipping. So, okay, I'm up to 2 CPU. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Now, how would I like to use those 2 CPU? This is a relatively ugly looking turret, but it should be effective at least, with any luck, of course. But those 2 CPU, what can I do with that 2 CPU? How can I use that meaningfully? I see. Some things were not Ladium, which is not a bad thing per se, but I should deal with this. If I'm going for Ladium, may as well make sure everything is Ladium. Everything is Ladium. Okay, I think we're getting there. Two CPU. So this is not really going to be very pretty or anything, but I would like. I would like to go for something like that. Let's get this blackened out. Color. like it's always in fashion. Alright. And now let's choose a color. So, pinstripe, I like. Let's do that. It's simply a good look. Simply a good look. I mean, that's fine for the most part. It's not the prettiest cannon, but it's an upgrade. It's a fair upgrade. It should be a tougher turret. Should be. Let's see if we still have the issue of flipping. Save. My better judgment is telling me not to do this, but I just cannot not do so. Kinda sucks that I'm gonna get penalized for this, but looks good. It does look good. I'm not so sure about that. Let's keep that relatively dull, let's say. Alright, so that's the build. But, again, let's try this build out and see if it works. And when I say works, first of all, let's see how that turret performs. Some minor delay. Stop it. No longer getting that issue where it's slower. Pure. But I think there's potential here. And when I say potential, I mean that potential for recoloring. Let's do that. Let's do that. I did call this the PathForgerized APC. I think it's about time it lives up to that expectation. So, Okay, let's go with that. Let's see how that even looks. It's saved, and okay, that's a color. Not bad, but I think we can do better. I think it needs to be lighter at the very least, so let's go 5. Let's make it 100. Okay, let's see what we've got. That's already looking better. I do think it does look better. And let's mess with this color. Ha! That's looking pretty nifty. How do I feel about this? Maybe it's ever so slightly on the pink side. That's fine, let's just experiment. Still on the pink side. Let's try again. Maybe a little more. Oh wait, that does make sense actually. Let's try this. Looks pretty okay. Let's experiment a bit further. Now we're getting somewhere. Probably not a good idea, but I mean, that looks nice. It fits. Those colors don't go well together. Not as well as I'd hoped. Maybe subtlety is a good idea here. And okay, the grid could change. Do I want it to change though? It's fine overall. That's my mistake. Fine. Let's grab some gray. Maybe black is better for this. And maybe gray is better for this. I mean, it's pretty okay. Nah. Black's better for that. Maybe grey is better for the guns? That... Yeah, I think that works out better, ever so slightly. It does contrast a little better. Yeah, I like. I'll go for that. Anywhere else I'd like to apply grey to? Maybe? Maybe that's okay. Or maybe this looks better. It's actually not so bad, actually. Yeah, I do like that. But in that case, this returns to black. And you take on color. That's pretty decent overall. How do I feel about grey for this? It'll do. How about this? Not so sure. Yeah, it doesn't look tidy, so better than black there. Okay, so let's make sure these materials are okay. Speaking of which, that can black. That works. Alright, so I think that'll do for the PathForgerized APC, at least for now. But what about that color? The color I think is pretty decent, honestly. But something doesn't seem 100% right about it. Is it the glow, perhaps? It could be the glow. That's pretty decent overall. Saving. Definitely my best looking tank at the moment, so yeah, there's that. Some yellow lights. Some orange lights. Do I want yellow lights? Fair question. How do I feel about that instead? Which color looks better? I think this works out nicely. So there's 4 lights there, and where's the other? Probably red around here. Yep, red's over there. That's fine, honestly. I don't mind it. It's more for the highlights anyway. Wheels must be black because these cannot be colored separately. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the moment. Ah yes, one more thing. One more important thing I'd like to do. Wheels. Your steering is being reduced to 15 degrees. Same with yourself. Same with yourself. And same with yourself. Let's check those middle wheels, just in case there's anything funny going on with them. 0, that's good. Middle, 0, that's good. And save and test. Wait, what? Okay. Why aren't my colors here? What happened to my colors? I think it's probably a bug. It's probably a bug. However, I am noticing something. The turning issue is mitigated with more gentle steering, so this should result in slightly more consistent fighting experience. I mean, it still looks good in its original colors, so I'm not particularly worried. It just would have been nice to fight with the colors chosen, so So that's it. This is the PathForgerized APC. It's a tower destroyer, also a long range. It is a long range fighter. That's its intention. Fighting from afar. That's looking pretty good, if I may say so myself. Alright, well, that's it. Hopefully, this little experience did teach you one or two things about the game. Also, what a semi-effective turret looks like. Let me know down in the comments below, and in the meantime, thank you for watching.